Lab, and today I'm bringing you guys an MLB The Show Diamond Dynasty Market Watch for this upcoming week, May 25th through May 31st. So we just got the roster update this morning. So there's some changes made. Make sure to check out my last video that I've done on that. I'm going to be talking about some of those players, because I still think some of them are going to keep increasing or decreasing. But this video I want to focus on which players I think will either jump up or decrease in rating. And I want to start with Jose Altuve. There's been a lot of people talking about Altuve. I've even seen a lot of YouTube videos in the forums, everyone saying he should become a diamond. I know he's on the borderline, if he becomes a 93. I just, I don't really see it, because I looked at his stats, and he really, last year was a bit of a fluke year. He's still a great player, but I just don't really see any justification for increasing him. His fielding's been a little bit better this year, so maybe they'll increase that, but his hitting is, has been what the metrics suggested that he would do this year. I mean, last year he had a 360 BABIP, and I don't think he'll become a diamond unless he really, starts hitting for power, which he has done a little bit this year, but his slugging is still lower than last year, and his fielding is already pretty good. So guys, I just don't see it. Yeah, you might disagree with me there, but I just don't see that, so I just wanted to get that out of the way. And I want to go to Dylan Betances for the Yankees. I think this guy deserves another upgrade. I mean, I think this could be the first diamond. Well, I guess Kimbrel's a diamond, but I think this could be like the only non-closer that becomes a diamond. You just shouldn't see that very often. This guy has almost a 14 K per 9 rate. He has a 0 ERA right now. He's just been absolutely amazing. He was absolutely amazing last year. I think his K per 9 should be maxed out. His hits per 9 should be up there, and then probably make his pitches a little bit nastier. So I expect to see him jump up +2, +3 maybe. I'm gonna go to Tampa Bay now. So these guys are just, Archer got some love, but I think it's time for a couple other pitchers to get some love as well, such as Jake Odorizzi. He's an 83. He's really pitching very well this year. I think he could become a gold, so just watch out for that. The metrics are showing that he's not really getting lucky. They have a pretty solid pitching staff, guys, so keep track of some of these pitchers. I'll also go talk about Boxberger. He's an 80 overall. I think he might go up a few points as well. I don't know if he'll ever become that gold. His K per 9, hits per 9 is already pretty ridiculous, but that's a player you guys might want to keep an eye on. He might jump up a few points as well next week. Let's jump over to the Cardinals real quick. Yeah, see, there's a lot of changes this week. Carpenter finally went up. Waka didn't go up, so that's who I want to talk about now. I really look at Waka, the same type of player as Shelby Miller. Don't have the best metrics, but they're getting the job done. Maybe getting a little bit lucky. Nonetheless, I expect Waka to jump up next week to an 86 and 87 and to become that gold card. Colton Wong, same thing. He's just been one of the best second basemen in the league. I think he'll be an 85, 86 overall next week, kind of in the same boat with Jason Kipnis. And then I want to talk about one more Cardinal. Kevin Seagrass got an upgrade, by the way, but so did Johnny Peralta, finally. Jaime Garcia, now, I think he will make a jump. I think he could make a jump to a silver. I just kind of want to throw that out there. You guys might want to look to invest in him. He's really cheap. Probably get him for under 25 stubs, and if he could do well for the Cardinals, he might jump up to a silver. This is more of a long-term investment, but it's, basically could get him for free. I'm gonna go to the Giants now. Tim Lincecum, same type of boat as Waka and Shelby Miller. Not quite exactly as good as him too, but I think he should get a jump. Or I don't think he should get a jump, but I think he will get a jump, by at least a few points. I don't think he'll ever become a gold, but that's a player you guys might want to look into investing. You might be able to flip him for a decent amount. One player I do want to talk about for the Giants is Joe Panic. I think he deserves to be a silver. He's been one of the best second basemen in the league. Hitting, over 300. The metrics are showing that he's not really getting lucky. His BABIP's about where it should be. and I expect him to keep going up, and this might be a dark horse for a gold later on, so you might as well invest now while he's super cheap. Then I'm going to go to the D-backs, talk about their new closer, Brad Ziegler. I think he went up this week by only 1 point. Expect him to go up at least a few more points to become a silver. He's been doing really well. You guys might want to invest in him. He's a good pitcher to have in Diamond Dynasty because of his submarine delivery, so keep an eye out on him. And shifting back to the Cardinals real quick, talk about Johnny Peralta. He finally did get an upgrade, but I think he eventually could become a gold. You call me biased or whatever, but stats are showing that he's been the best shortstop in the National League the past 2 years. Simmons is up there too, but Peralta, has a little better hitting. So, and you guys can still get him for very cheap, and you could probably still get him very cheap this weekend. So, he might jump up a few more points. He might eventually become gold. Just another player to keep an eye out. Go to the Pirates. Talk about another shortstop. Reminds me of Johnny Peralta, Jung Ho Kong. Again, he's hitting for good power. I expect him to take over, starting eventually at either third base or shortstop full time. I know he's getting a lot of playing time at third base. They might eventually, though they need to change his secondary to third base too. Expect him to keep going up, guys. He already has over a 1 WAR. He's hasn't even been playing full time, and he's really shown that he is the player that he was in the Korean leagues. So get him while he's cheap. He could be a good power shortstop, a good power budget shortstop for later down the road. All right, now I want to go to the Orioles. Talk about a new player they had that's really stepped up. It's their right fielder, Jimmy Paredes. Might have said that wrong. Anyways, he got a pretty decent upgrade. If he keeps it up, he might jump up all the way to a silver. The cool thing about this player is he's a switch hitter, and he could be a great utility guy for your guys' bench. So I think his value on the market's going to be a little bit more inflated than other players because he is a switch hitter and he has multiple secondary positions. He's kind of like a Josh Harrison, can play anywhere, second, third, left, or right. So keep an eye on him, and I would, this would be a great guy to have on a bench, especially, budget team or not. I think he's going to keep going up. Let's go to the White Sox. Avisail Garcia, he had an upgrade. I think he may jump up to a silver eventually. He has some pretty good hitting stats, hitting attributes. So just keep an eye out on him. Another, low risk, low reward type of card here, and it won't hurt to buy a few because he may jump up again next week. I'll go to Detroit now. I'm talking about Anthony Ghost real quick. He did get a little bit of upgrade. It's really not where it's at. The dude's hitting like 336. I just, even if he's getting a little lucky, I think, they're gonna have to upgrade him even more. He barely got an upgrade at all. So he jumped from a 70 to 73. I think he could eventually become a silver. Keep an eye on him. Let's go to Texas real quick. Talk about Prince Fielder. He did get an upgrade. I think his power should be up a little higher. So pretty much any minimal changes to his attributes is going to bump him up to a gold. So that's a good card to invest in if you guys want to go that route. Also, we'll go to the Nats. Gio Gonzalez. This is kind of a weird player, but I think you guys could get him very cheap because a lot of people might be anticipating he's going to downgrade. However, the metrics are showing that he's actually, pitching well, just having a lot of bad luck, and I think he eventually might become a gold later on. So this might be one of those, long-term investments, and you guys could probably snag him up this weekend. He'll be really, really cheap. So look into getting Gio Gonzalez. And since we're already on the Nats, I'm gonna start talking about players that should be getting downgrades. Strasburg is another one of those weird players. Like, he has decent metrics, but for whatever reason, he's not pitching well. Runners on base, has a very low left on base percentage, just in the 50s, which is very, very strange. So it might be something to do with his, delivery or him pitching off the stretch or whatnot. He has like a 6 ERA right now, so I think he might, get another point or two deduction. If he becomes silver, this is a player you might want to look into investing in because I don't think he'll stay a silver if he turns silver, but that's a player I think will be going down soon, so you guys might want to sell now. Alright, so we're talking about downgrades. Let me go to the Rockies, talk about some diamond players actually. And Troy Tulowitzki, he's not doing much at all this year. In my opinion, he's kind of been one of the more overrated players. He's been playing at Coors. Don't get me wrong. He's got a lot of raw talent, but he's just not performing this year. the Rockies don't look that good at all. A lot of those players just don't hit on the road. So, and we're starting to see some downgrades, especially, you know, Cargo. So you guys might want to sell him off. If he drops one more point, he's going to become a gold, and his value is just going to go way down. So you guys might want to think about investing in Ernie Banks or another shortstop, because you know the legend players won't get touched. So you guys might want to sell this guy off. Stay on Colorado here and talk about Cargo. I think he's doing terrible too. He should really be a bronze at this point. I think they're just giving him the benefit of the doubt. So you guys might want to sell him off if you haven't already. Now I want to go to another diamond. Robinson Cano from Seattle Mariners. He dropped a little bit. It's kind of weird because he got a 1-point upgrade like a few weeks ago for no reason, and then they dropped him 3 points this week. He's not hitting at all. He does not deserve that 95 contact versus righties. He's still probably going to have a decent year, maybe like a 2 to 3 WAR at second base, maybe 4. But that does not warrant a legendary, or not legendary, but a diamond status. I think he's eventually going to go down to a gold, so you guys might want to sell him off. You know, that's just my opinion. He could lose a lot of value if he goes to gold. Alright, so next, go to the Rangers. I want to talk about Adrian Beltre. I have him since I did the Texas collection. I don't know. I think he has a good chance of becoming a gold. He's not really hitting that well, and his age is starting to catch up with him. His defense is still great. I hope he doesn't become a gold, but it's, you know, if they're consistent with it, a lot of these guys should be becoming gold soon. You know, Tulo, Beltre, and Cano. Beltre hasn't been as bad as the other two, and he might turn it on. But those 93, 94 contact, he doesn't deserve that at this juncture. So you guys might want to sell him off as well. Go to the Cardinals real quick. Jason Hayward, he might be getting a downgrade. Again, I don't think he'll drop to a bronze, but he really hasn't done that well for the Cardinals, even defensively. I don't think they'll touch his fielding though, based off his, you know, I think they'll give him benefit of the doubt based off his history and you know, in right field, center field. His hitting should go down. He just hasn't really done anything at the plate, and he's been terrible versus lefties. I think his, you know, everything. I think all of his hitting attributes should go down. So you guys might want to sell him while you can, because I think his price will drop, you know, to like under 500 stubs. Staying in the NL Central here, I'm going to talk about Devin Mesoraco. I don't know why this guy hasn't got a downgrade yet. He's been absolutely terrible. I mean, he has a negative WAR. He's hitting like 212 with like a 250 on base. I think his OPS is in the 500. It's just absolutely terrible. So expect him to go down. He might jump to a bronze. Definitely sell now, guys. Again, staying in the Central, let me talk about Josh Harrison. He did get one downgrade already. Kong might be starting over him at third base some more. He's a good utility guy to have, but I think he's going to keep going down. The metrics showed last year he did get a little bit lucky with a high batting average of balls in play. So, you know, just keep that in mind. I don't see this guy going up. He might even drop to a bronze. A few more players to talk about. Let's go to the AL East. One of the players, you know, I predicted actually did get a slight downgrade, which doesn't really surprise me. He's still a very good power hitter, but he looks more like the Chris Davis from last year, and he might jump to the high 70s, low 80s. So he dropped off from a gold. So you guys might want to, you know, sell him while you can. He's still a good hitter though. I mean, 97 power versus righties is still very good, but he's probably going to keep going down. And then we have Jose Bautista from the Blue Jays. You know, he's not really hitting all that well either. I don't think his contact should be a lot lower, even his power. I don't see him staying in gold. I think next week, or even the week after that, he's going to drop to like an 83, an 84, kind of where Edward Encarnacion is at. So I really think Russell Martin and, you know, Travis and Donaldson are the key players of this team now. Bautista and Encarnacion are dropping off a bit, so you might want to sell your Bautista card. Guys, that's going to wrap it up for this week's DD Market Watch. So let me know if you guys have any other players you might be thinking getting downgrades, upgrades, or if I missed a few. Let me know, guys. Anyways, this is Cardinal number 5 signing out. Peace, guys.